the perfect
No,
specimen.
it sounded like slow ride, but that's my impression.
Okay,
That might be what I was thinking of.
you ready?
Yeah, whenever you guys are ready.
Okay. Well, as Jason always says, welcome Podcast Nation. Sitting with me is Larry,
Hello?
Jason,
Hello, podcast world.
and myself. And as with last week, Mr. Ryan is on special assignment. Today, one of the things we want to talk about is why you shouldn't take a counter offer,
Never.
as tempting as it may be. As a matter of fact, what I'm looking at right now is a printout of something I found on Yahoo News, a few years back. And even though it's 5 or 6 years old, whatever it is, it's still very relevant today. It's relevant today. It was relevant 30 years ago, and it'll be relevant 30 years from now. The article is why you shouldn't take a counteroffer. It says, thinking about using a potential employer's job offer to get your current company to counter and pay more money? Stop right there. Using another job offer as a bargaining chip may be tempting, but too often it ends badly. If you want a raise, then negotiate it on your own merits, or just be prepared to move on. Now, what it does, this article goes on to list 6 things, and we'll add some stuff and maybe explain some things to you guys, but let's look at the first one. It says, number 1, employers often make counteroffers in a moment of panic. We can't have Joe leave right now. We have that big conference next month. But after the initial relief passes, you may find your relationship with your employer and your standing with the company has fundamentally changed. You're now the one who's looking to leave. You're no longer part of the inner circle. You might be at the top of the list if your company needs to get cutbacks in the future. See, the one thing everyone needs to remember is that when you walk in and say to your boss, I'm leaving for a different opportunity, a better opportunity, you're screwing up everything for the employer. You're screwing up the projects they're working on, the schedule that people may be working with. You're also screwing up vacations. And most importantly, guess what you're doing? You're making your boss's life miserable. Because now your boss is going to have to do his job. And guess what, Larry? Your job as well.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, sure, you can be flattered and, look how important I am. They want to keep me here. Hello, McFly, get real. It's a case of you now causing a major inconvenience. And sure, you might be valuable, and sure, you might be wonderful, and all this other stuff. But the point is this. You're causing a problem. Your boss is overworked. Now you're going to make him more overworked. You don't want to, that, no. So remember, as flattering as it may seem, most employers make counteroffers because they're panicking. What am I going to do now? Oh my Jesus. See what I'm saying, guys? Okay, number 2, Larry.
Yeah, which actually does lead into the next point. Just to paraphrase, your company just might want time to search for a replacement, figuring it's only a matter of time until you start looking again. You might turn down the other offer and accept the employer's counteroffer, only to find yourself pushed out soon afterwards. Rule of thumb among recruiters is about 70 to 80% of people who accept counteroffers, they either leave or they're let go within a year, which really does dovetail to the first point, John. If a person is going to their present employer saying, hey, I got another opportunity, would you want a counteroffer? Mm-hmm. And you said that one of the things is that they're causing a problem. If the boss has their head on straight, they're thinking, oh man, I better start looking for somebody now, because who knows if this guy's going to be out, a guy or girl is going to be out on the road again.
Yep.
Looking for another opportunity. So they're basically they're just trying to buy time till they say, okay, we found somebody, you're gone.
It's a Band-Aid.
Yeah, absolutely, it's a Band-Aid. It's a big tourniquet, basically, especially if there's a lot of responsibility within the position.
I agree. And what's amazing out there is that we're in this business. We all day long are talking to people about new opportunities and resigning from jobs and considering counteroffers. It's all day long. It's what we hear.
Yep.
So everything that we've talked to you about so far is a reality. It happens. We like to live in a little snow globe, glass bubble world where, it's not me, it's somebody else. No. This is the way business operates.
Yep.
Okay? Jason,
What?
you read pretty well.
Yes.
Why don't you take number 3?
Well, the third reason here. There's a reason you started job searching in the first place. More money is always a motivator. More often, there are also other factors that drove you to look. Personality fit, dislike of your boss, boredom with the work, lack of recognition, insane deadlines, whatever it might have been. Those factors aren't going to change and will likely start bothering you again as soon as the glow from your raise wears off.
And I know out there we have all kind of massive egos, and what amazes me are these candidates that think they are so critically important to the success of their company, and yes, all these people are going to change because I want to leave. I want to leave because I'm not happy. I want to leave because I'm not challenged, and now they're going to challenge me. Now they're going to make me totally happy. But truthfully, how long is that going to last? And what's going to happen 6 months from now? You're going to pick up your ball and go home again? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got to live in a real world where if you got sincere reasons to make a job change, it really is time for you to move on. And truthfully, even when you look at reasons to make a job change, they don't need to be negative. It could be, hey, listen, I've been here 6 years. I've done as much as I can do. I've been challenged as much as I can be challenged. And now it's just time for me to move on.
Yeah,
looking
for a different pasture is not a bad reason.
No.
In that regard.
It doesn't have to be, I can't stand Jason. I can't stand Larry. This place is terrible. It doesn't have to be that.
No.
Okay? And that's what always amazes me is candidates always think that the reason I got to make a job change is because it's terrible, it's negative, I got to move on. No. I mean, it happens. Lord knows it happens.
Yep.
But, you could be leaving for just the opportunity to grow. Nothing wrong with that. Number 4, even if you get more money out of your company now, think about what it took to get it. Right?
Yeah.
Next time you want money, I'm sorry, Larry. Next time you want money, what are you going to do? If
Hold them for ransom.
Yeah, if I don't get money, I'm going to take my ball and go home again.
Yeah, jump through hoops of fire. I mean, my Lord, if that's what it took you to get the raise now, what's it going to be down the road?
Yeah. It goes on.
If you get it.
Yeah. It goes on to say you needed to have one foot out the door to get paid the wages you wanted, and there's no reason to think that future salary increases will be any easier.
Yeah. Hey, John, I want a raise. Let me hold your feet to the fire, okay?
Yeah.
And let me really threaten. That's the kind of company I want to work for.
Yeah, do you want to work for a company like that?
No, I want to be recognized and get raises accordingly for the right reasons.
And then it goes on to say the next time you want a raise, you might even be refused altogether on the grounds that we just gave you that big increase when you were thinking about leaving 6 months ago. I mean, again, the arrogance of people. Where do you think this money's coming from? It's going to come from somewhere. I one time had a guy that we were trying to place on a job, and we asked the question of, hey, are you going to consider a counteroffer? And he said no. And I said, well, why not? And he said, well, because once before I took a counteroffer, and then I went a whole almost 2 years without a raise. Now that's, again, the reality of the job market out there, not the little fantasy world we live in. That's like, that might be some business, but I have to let it go. So please ignore that man behind the screen. Go ahead, Jason.
Just on that same point John was talking about, just think of the extreme measure you had to take to try and get a couple dollar raise. That's just, it's insane. And then, did you pause it?
No.
Just think of the extreme
We don't pause here.
Just think of the extreme measure you had to take.
The ones that we pause for are commercial breaks.
We don't have
We
any.
don't have any, so let's keep on
We
talking.
need some sponsors.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. Just
Hey, anybody wants to sponsor us, Go to gloversearch.com and let us know. Go ahead, Jason. I digress.
No, it's just the extreme measure you had to take to just even to try and get a couple extra dollars in your pocket. I mean, what kind of world is that you want to live in?
Yeah.
The thing with that point, though, too, what it took to get that raise, because you as the applicant thinking, oh, wow, it's because I told them I was looking for another opportunity and they decided to give me a counteroffer, that could have very well been a raise that maybe they weren't telling you about, but they were going to give you within the next couple of months. So it's like, well, okay, as opposed to
just give it to them now.
Just give it to the person now, and then screw the raise that we had planned for them later. But the danger you get, okay, you got your raise, but they now know you were threatening to leave. So that kind of
give them the raise now, shut them up, keep the Band-Aid healed, and let's look for a replacement. And get this guy out of here because he's not loyal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, number 5 is interesting. It says, you may be told to take the other offer. You go to your boss and say, listen, Mr. Boss, leaving because I got a better opportunity. And your boss may say, well, goodbye.
See ya.
So it says, again, I repeat myself, you may be told to take the other offer even if you really don't want it. And then you'll have to follow through. Using another offer as a bluff is really, really a dangerous game. And the other thing that people don't realize is that, we're here in Pittsburgh, and, Pittsburgh is a tight market. It's a small market, okay? People know people.
Yes.
And I don't think you want to be labeled as a user of people. Because if once you accept the job, look at it this way, everybody. We have lost clients over the years, even though it doesn't happen a lot, knock on wood. We have lost clients because candidates took counteroffers. Because here's what happens. You're made an offer, you're all fired up, you take the darn thing. Then the employer who hired you gets the office ready, makes announcements, gets everything ready, just to have you call a week or two later saying, well, I've been thinking about it and I decided to stay where I am. It creates an embarrassing situation. It causes an employer who was hiring you to waste their time. And you don't want to have that reputation as you go out into the market. You don't know where people are going to wind up, period. You don't know. You got to think things through. Oh, it's a dangerous game we play. You shouldn't be playing it.
And people move around, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, there's situations where if you turn down that employer, that hiring manager, whether it was HR, whether it was engineering, whatever. There have been cases where they've ended up either at subsidiaries or at the place where this person was working. It doesn't bode well.
Yeah,
at all. It's a small world.
Hey, Mick Jagger said,
Excuse me?
Mick Jagger once said, if you're going to play with fire, be prepared to get burned.
Amen to Mick.
Did he say that?
I think it was in a song somewhere.
Okay.
Don't play with fire,
may have just made
because
it
you're
up.
going to get burned.
Okay, thanks, Mick.
Mick Jagger.
All right,
Where's your
number
room?
6. This is a great segue to number 6. Good luck getting that new employer to ever consider you again. If you go all the way through their hiring process only to accept a counteroffer from the current employer, then the former is going to be wary of considering you in the future. This is just like we talked about. If it's a company you'd like to work with, you might be shutting the door rather than keeping it open. Okay? Like we always tell candidates, if you want to take a counteroffer, fine, I'm not going to stop you. Do what you want. But you've got to understand the ramifications of doing that.
Yep.
And it's not, I mean, I don't think any candidate, if the roles were reversed and you were the employer, would want to waste their time taking people through a hiring process, getting everybody all ramped up and hepped up and everybody's all excited, just to have a candidate take a counteroffer. Remember, you can turn a job down and not accept it. That's fine. That's life. But to accept the job when you've given your word and then to renege on that commitment is not a good practice. So please, if you're going to get involved with a recruiter and with a client, a company, I should say, please really, really think through. I think last week we talked about, reasons to make job changes and having good reasons and all this other wonderful stuff. Yeah, it all factors together. But just understand that when a person does take a counteroffer, it does cause problems. You may not care, but someday it may come back to bite you in the butt.
Yep.
Anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah, greed kills, man. Just be careful. If you're leaving for money, that's one thing.
Yeah.
And that's what employers, if they have it, can throw at you. But man, it's a short-term satisfaction. I mean, it really is. Most of the people that I've talked to that have taken it said, "Man, I made a mistake. This and that. I need to leave." So it's make sure your reasons are valid. I mean, if you're leaving for money, that's one thing. But if you have other ones that are more solid.
Well, we've just covered 6 points that will hopefully get you thinking if you're in a situation where you're tempted to consider or take a counteroffer. If you go to our website, which is what, Robert?
www.gloversearch.com.
You will see a blog on there about this subject, about counteroffer.
I'll link to it in the blog, the podcast.
Yeah, we'll link to it so you guys can read it. Hopefully it'll help you. And like I said, what we read from you came from an old Yahoo News article that was dated, it says copyright 2011, U.S. News and World Report, and then it says copyright 2012, Yahoo Incorporated. So you can look it up, I guess. There's ways people can do that stuff. But the point is this, it's valuable information that will help you in the market. And with that, good night, America.
Ciao, ciao.
Take care.
Bye.